that?
I think we pitched 14 guys this weekend.
Oh.
Yeah, so.
You were one arm short.
Yeah, and that's kind of what I said. We just, it's disappointing, but we emptied the gun. We shot all our bullets and gave it our best shot, and just wasn't enough. It's the beauty of this league, where you got to finish. It doesn't matter if you're playing a team that's 0-8, or a team that's 8-0. You got to get all 27 outs and sometimes more. And they felt that in the first game, right? I'm sure they felt like they let one get away. So, but it's unfortunate, and again, you win 2 out of 3, but it always leaves a bitter taste when the one that you lose is the last one.
Did Braden look as sharp? Tonight.
I don't know if it was. We'll look back. I wasn't looking at the iPad. The velo was fine. He looked strong. He felt great all day. It's tough. It's tough to get the last 3 outs. We really didn't want to bring him in the 8th, and not because of any type of health reasons. It's tough. It's tough, for those guys to sit down and get back up, with the closer guys with that kind of emotion. But we had to bring him in the 8th to get off the field. We felt like, and he was ready. But credit them. They got a bunch of hits in the last inning. We just couldn't get off the field.
You missed Spencer.
Yeah. Well, yeah. And they're missing a lot of guys on the other side too. It goes around. But you're right. But at the end of the day, we had our shot. We just, we didn't finish it. But 1, 2 out of 3, and we'll move on.
Like you say though, 2 out of 3, pretty darn good.
Yeah. Thanks.
Foley 5 RBIs first game. Is he getting better at bats and overall right now?
He is. And and you asked about Judd yesterday. It's those guys. You look at the numbers, and there's times where it's some head scratching at bats, and I get it. But man, there's some really good things that happen too, and some homers and some big extra base hits. And Judd had I think 3 hits. A really good day and 3 hits, and I think in game 2 today. Mm-hmm. So but proud of Foley, and just to have that kind of offensive day, catching 18 innings, that's big. I asked him if he's ever caught a doubleheader. I think it's been a while, it's part of it.
Can't have many complaints offensively though.
No. We we got a little bit of a lull in the middle there, but again, it's hard. It's hard to you can't just always put it on them. Sometimes it's it's on the pitching staff to put some zeros up and win the game themselves. The offense is for the most part shown up a lot in the last few weeks.
How was Chang going today?
Hurting.
Thanks, Mike.
You're welcome. And nothing serious. What it looked like when we watched it on video is when he dove, he landed on Mitch's arm. So rather than just hitting his whole body against the ground, it's like landing on something that actually, almost like probably getting punched in the side. So just kind of bruised up. I think he's going to be fine, but didn't feel great today. And it felt he could swing a little bit. He could hit, but it hurt him more to throw. And so we went with Randy those games.
Thank you.